A tornado outbreak in a blizzard? Weather update American cities number 146. Hold on, because winter is about to throw us a massive curveball. We're tracking two dangerous storms set to barrel across the country, affecting tens of millions. But this isn't your typical forecast. The first storm is arriving now, bringing a classic winter punch of heavy snow and ice to the Midwest and Northeast. The real head-turner, though, is the second storm. It's taking a much more southerly route, putting way more people in the path of not just a snowstorm, but a truly rare and dangerous severe weather threat. Believe it or not, the experts are getting really concerned about the potential for a few tornadoes this Thursday, smack dab in the middle of the Ohio Valley. Seeing this kind of setup in February is highly unusual. So we need to break down exactly what's coming your way, because this is a complex and potentially dangerous 1-2 punch that you absolutely need to be ready for. You'll want to stick around for the whole story on this, especially the details on Thursday's wild weather pattern. So why is all of this happening now? It all starts with a massive pipeline of moisture streaming in from the Pacific Ocean. Think of it like a giant atmospheric fire hose aimed right at the West Coast. This is the same system that has been absolutely hammering California with flooding rain and dumping feet of snow in the mountains. We've even seen some rare severe thunderstorms near Los Angeles. Now, all of that tropical moisture is about to be carried over the Rocky Mountains, ready to fuel our upcoming storms. This giant plume of unusually moist air is spreading out across the northern plains, the Midwest, and the Ohio Valley, setting the stage for our first winter storm hitting today and into tomorrow. But it doesn't stop there. By Wednesday and Thursday, another huge surge of that Pacific moisture is expected to reload over the Deep South and Ohio Valley. This is creating the bizarre and volatile cocktail we're watching, where both heavy, disruptive snow and a serious severe weather outbreak are on the table. Things are going to get incredibly active over the next 5 days. Then as we head into the weekend, the entire pattern shifts dramatically. On the backside of these powerful storm systems, a blast of seriously cold, dry air is set to come pouring down from the Arctic. We're talking about a genuine Arctic blast arriving Sunday into Monday, with temperatures plummeting all the way down into Florida. You can see just how dry it's going to get. By Monday, a huge blob of dry air will dominate, shutting everything down. Let's dive into the timeline of these storms using the future radar. Right now, the action is out west. The Rockies, the Sierra Nevada, and the Cascades are getting buried in heavy snow, while places from San Diego all the way to Oregon are dealing with soaking rains. Later today, that energy and moisture will cross the mountains and explode into a major storm system over the northern plains. This is what will kick off a significant winter storm for the northern plains and upper Midwest tonight into tomorrow. Before that snow really gets cranking, I have to point out the wind. Today is going to be incredibly windy across the Midwest and the central and southern plains. The reason is a classic atmospheric squeeze play. We have a powerful low-pressure system and a strong high-pressure system right next to each other. In between them, the pressure gradient gets incredibly tight, which is like stepping on the gas pedal for wind speeds. Unfortunately, this is creating a nightmare scenario for another reason. That potent combination of high winds and very dry conditions already in place across the central and southern plains is a recipe for disaster. We're talking extremely low humidity meeting powerful wind gusts, especially in areas like northeastern Colorado. That means the risk for dangerous, fast-moving wildfires is extremely critical today, and will likely continue into tomorrow. This is a serious threat, so please be extra cautious and aware of any local fire warnings in these specific regions. As we move into tonight, the West Coast continues to get hammered. If you're in the Sierra Nevada, expect more heavy snow, which caused dozens of accidents yesterday. Down in Los Angeles and San Diego, the moderate to heavy rainfall just keeps coming. Meanwhile, our new winter storm will be exploding to life across the northern plains. Places in Canada like Saskatchewan will be in the thick of it, with snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches per hour possible at times, leading to near whiteout conditions. By early Wednesday morning, that band of heavy snow will stretch all the way from the upper peninsula of Michigan, back through Wisconsin, and into North Dakota. What's really fascinating is that we could even see some isolated strong to severe thunderstorms fire up during the day on Wednesday across parts of Michigan, Indiana, and Ohio. By Wednesday evening, the storm will reach the Northeast, but it won't be a blockbuster. A thin corridor from Syracuse to Boston will see some decent snow, but it's a quick mover. Now, that was just the appetizer. The real main course is the storm system right behind it. This second storm won't bring as much widespread snow, but it packs a much more dangerous punch with a significant severe weather threat. We could realistically see tornadoes on Thursday in parts of the Ohio Valley, which is almost unheard of for this time of year. On top of that, there might even be a third storm behind that one that could bring a dusting of snow even farther south. Let's get into the details of this. By Thursday morning, that first winter storm will be quickly fizzling out over the northeast, leaving just some light snow showers behind. That's when our next, more intense storm system makes its way over the Rockies. Here's the setup. We'll have cold, dry air plunging south from Canada, while warm, humid air surges north from the Gulf of Mexico. These two completely different air masses are set to collide directly over the Ohio Valley and Midwest on Thursday, creating that perfect but rare recipe for trouble. This collision is what could trigger that bizarre February severe weather event. To the north and west of this clash, some much-needed snow will fall across parts of Nebraska and South Dakota, areas that have been starved from moisture this winter. Unfortunately for snow lovers there, this isn't looking like a massive blizzard for you. The main story with this system is what happens when that warm, unstable air gets lifted over the cold air, and that's where things get really interesting and potentially dangerous. Thursday afternoon is when we'll be on high alert. We're expecting an area of powerful thunderstorms to erupt across the Ohio Valley, and these won't be your average rain showers. These storms will have the potential to produce damaging winds, large hail, and even a few tornadoes. The storms will likely fire up somewhere in western Illinois in the afternoon and race eastward toward places like Louisville, Kentucky. This is where we could see a few supercells, the rotating thunderstorms that are the most dangerous. Now I want to be very clear about this. This is a conditional threat. The outcome depends on a delicate balance of ingredients. If the temperatures get warm enough, and if the air becomes unstable enough, and most importantly, if the humid, sticky air from the Gulf of Mexico makes it that far north, then we have a problem. A change of just a few degrees could be the make-or-break factor between a few tornadoes and nothing at all. But the potential is absolutely there for a high-impact event this Thursday. As we head into Thursday night and early Friday, the storm system will continue its march to the east. Showers and thunderstorms will stretch from eastern Michigan all the way down to Louisiana. Behind the severe weather threat, a band of moderate to heavy snow will be falling in a very narrow corridor across Minnesota, Wisconsin, and the upper peninsula of Michigan. By Friday morning, this whole complex system moves east, bringing a little bit of snow to parts of New York and New England as it exits. But wait, there's more. Behind all of this, another weak storm system is lurking, and this one is a real head-scratcher. Depending on which forecast model you believe, we have two very different outcomes for the weekend. The European model, for example, suggests this system stays weak, bringing some severe weather to the southeast on Friday and Saturday, but the snow threat pretty much fizzles out and doesn't amount to much of anything. It shows a much less interesting scenario for snow lovers. However, the American GFS model is telling a completely different story. It sees this storm organizing much more and turning into a bigger deal. It suggests a more organized area of snowfall, stretching from Oklahoma all the way across the lower Midwest and Ohio Valley on Saturday. Then, it shows this system strengthening even more as it heads east, potentially becoming a pretty significant winter storm for the Northeast on Sunday. So we have a real forecast mystery on our hands for the weekend. The most significant snow from our first storm system will be concentrated in the far northern plains and upper Midwest, where some areas could see 1 to 2 feet of snow with blizzard conditions. The second storm will bring a more widespread 3 to 6 inches to places like Nebraska and the upper Midwest. The Northeast is also poised to get hit with snow over the next several days, with the best chances being Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. This is where the forecast gets tricky though. Yes, there's a chance for some snow farther south this weekend. Places like Little Rock, Oklahoma City, and maybe even Nashville could see some flakes fly. But I need to make this crystal clear. This is not a milk and bread emergency. You do not need to race to the store. For most of these southern spots, we're talking about a dusting to maybe a couple of inches at most, and it's still very uncertain if even that will happen. The bigger potential for heavy snow is definitely focused on the Northeast. I do have some good news for you winter lovers though. Right on the heels of these storms, we are expecting a full-blown Arctic air mass to plunge into the country by the end of the weekend. This is going to be a shock to the system, especially since right now, record-breaking heat is baking the central and northern plains, with temperatures 30 to 40 degrees above average. A weak cold front will knock those Tong back to normal by Thursday, but the real cold is yet to come, so don't pack away those jackets. That Arctic air is going to spill out of Canada and come rushing down into the lower 48 on Sunday and Monday. By Monday morning, temperatures will be as much as 20 to 30 degrees below normal across a huge part of the country. It's going to be a bitterly cold start to the new week. Looking further ahead, it seems the Northeast and Great Lakes will stay chilly, while the rest of the country slowly warms back to near normal temperatures for this time of year. Thanks so much for tuning in for this critical update.